It's Nogi Neighbors. So come on in, it's time for another episode with your best friends. I got the flavor. Think we should dive right in. We'll spit facts about gold blacks in high level competition. Look back on old footage, maybe see what we missing. Kick back and train hard is the way that we living. Talk smack and stay humble, having fun on a mission. Big top pressure is the reason why you submitting. Yes sir. Steady pushing forward, no setbacks. Just a couple low belts soon to turn black. And if you hating, better stop that, cause it's the Nogi Neighbors podcast. White belt.
I believe so, yes.
Nogi Neighbors. And if you're watching with video, not on Spotify, if you can tell, we're in a new studio that Brandon and Keelan so graciously are letting us use.
Yes, Brandon McCaffrin and Conscious Keelan.
Yeah. And we got Josh Is it
Diaddario?
Dario or Diaddario?
So
I've heard two people say
so
it
actually, so I was in Italy. My dad took me to Italy for my senior trip.
Okay.
So my family pronounces it Diaddario. And while we were in Italy, I was at a restaurant and a waiter was taking my order, and we just got on the conversation of like why I was there, and I told him that like my last name was Italian, and he was like, "What's your last name?" And I said Diaddario, and he said, "No, it's Diaddario."
Oh, okay.
I was like, "Man, you're telling me how to pronounce my own last name right here."
Yeah.
All right.
Did he hit you with like the Mikey Musumeci, like the little Italian thing too?
It's
when he
me,
did it?
Diaddario.
No, he didn't do the Italian thing. No.
But
Yeah, so we pronounce it Diaddario, but I believe the correct pronunciation is Diaddario.
I got you.
Okay.
Cool. You know, Brandon does that same thing. He says McCaffrin, but he told me like the way you're supposed to say it's like McCogran.
McCulkin.
Like
McCulkin.
you almost gotta say it like you got something stuck in your throat. I think.
McCochran.
Yeah,
there
something
it
like
is.
that.
There it
Something
is.
like that.
You know?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I'll
take it out.
But yeah. So ADCC.
Yeah. Wow. That was crazy.
It was super fun to watch. You guys went though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Went to Las Vegas, Nevada. That was your first time being in like a big city, right?
I've been to Houston and Atlanta, but Las Vegas had a really different vibe to it.
Sure.
It felt like a hangover in the daytime.
Yeah.
It felt like what I would imagine it's like when you go and you clean a Chuck E. Cheese the night after, like everything just kind of looks sticky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, it feels different,
fun,
like
though.
being out there in the West, like in the desert. You know what I mean?
No water for miles.
Mm-mm.
Just ready to die.
Oh,
Let an eagle peek your eyes out. I mean, it's a scary thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look down, there's desert. Didn't you guys fly?
Yeah, it was pretty flat out there.
Yeah, dude.
So
It really was.
Yeah.
It felt like you could like look beyond the city line, and it was just open area. Like it was like open desert, but then smack in the middle is just Las Vegas. That's what it felt like to me.
yeah, it felt like the horizon wasn't real. It was just like a skybox. Like in a video game.
Like those spaghetti westerns where it's just like nothing.
Yeah,
and
like
then
if I walked
city.
far enough, there'd be an invisible wall, or I would be just on the other side of Las Vegas. Like you can't really leave except by plane. But
Gotta go through a portal.
yeah. But the event itself was awesome. That was one of my favorite trips I've been on.
It was definitely like the best experience I've had going to a jiu-jitsu event. The only like big show that I've been to other than that was Polaris.
You've been to a Polaris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so remember just a minute ago I mentioned I went to Italy. Before I went to Italy, my dad and I went to we were in England also for my senior trip.
Okay.
And while we were there in England just exploring, just by chance the Polaris tournament was going on in Poole, and so And Boogie Martinez, 10th Planet black belt, he was teaching a seminar at 10th Planet London. So
Okay.
we just kind of had a day where we were like, all right, let's go and do this. So I went and did Boogie's seminar at 10th Planet London, trained with those guys, and then we went to the Polaris tournament right after.
Okay. Who was like was it like a bracket or was it like a main event?
Yeah, it was
like
a
super
bracket.
fights?
Oh, so actually, that was the tournament that Nicky Ryan fought. What's his name? That MMA fighter. He's a I think it starts with an F. What's his name? Oh, that's
no way
killing
I'll
me.
come up
I
with
forget it. I forget his name. But he
Wait,
was
you said
fighting
Nicky Ryan?
Yeah, Nicky Ryan.
You meant Nicky Rodriguez?
No, Nicky Ryan. This is when Nicky was like
'Cause I know Nicky
like
Rod,
a purple belt.
Nicky Rod had a match with what's his name? Luke Rockhold on like Polaris or something.
Yeah, it wasn't
Wasn't
that
that?
event. No,
Okay.
it was definitely Nicky Ryan, but I feel like his name's his opponent, his name had an F in it.
I got you.
But then Ethan Krellinston and Ashley Williams
Okay.
were in that bracket. That was amazing. They had an
bet.
absolute war during that tournament, and it was very entertaining.
Phil Harris.
No, it wasn't the Phil Harris. It was a bigger name.
Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber. That's who it was.
Oh,
That's who
that
it was.
makes
It was
sense.
Wow,
Uriah
that's
That
actually
makes
pretty
sense.
big. That's
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
That's really
That's
cool.
really cool.
Because like I know Polaris is like on Fight Pass and stuff, so they probably have those connections to like, oh, get us, what's his name? We'll get him down here.
Yeah, I remember my dad. My dad, he doesn't watch jiu-jitsu or anything like that. So when they did the walkouts, and this little kid, Nicky Ryan was probably like 16 or 17 at the time. And then so he walks out, and then Uriah Faber, all jacked, like a proper MMA fighter, comes walking out. And my dad was like, "Whoa, is this legal? Like, can we do this?"
How did it go? Can you remember how it went?
Yeah, I think it was a draw. Like I know Nicky had a couple of close heel hooks, and I remember Uriah Faber was pretty rough with him too. Like he was like on his knees throwing those like hard collar ties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is a strike?
Yeah. What is
The
this?
cyborg collar ties.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Speaking of a 17-year-old Nicky Ryan, the UFC just signed a 17-year-old on the Contender Series.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Raul
Raul?
Rosa Jr.
Raul Rosas Jr. You said you got to see him perform a little bit.
Some of his fight. Yeah,
saw
he
a
was
highlight
just
from
sound, man. He was just sound. I didn't ever see a part. Every time you thought he was gonna go down, he was just going in for a takedown. It was crazy. And then the guy just he just basically dominated him on the feet and on the ground. It was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, you can tell he can fight good because he's real ugly.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, he does look like his face is made out of Play-Doh, but you know what? He's the youngest guy to ever get signed to the UFC, so that's pretty freaking awesome.
yeah, it's really impressive. But who impressed you the most at ADCC? Either of you guys.
Who impressed me the most?
Who impressed or maybe surprised you? Just like hot takes. What do you got?
So I gotta say, Diego Plato.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was not expecting him to. He won, right?
No.
No.
He did
Baby
really
Shark
well. Yeah,
won.
Baby Shark won.
Yeah, I thought his performance, Diego Plato though, I thought his
Yeah.
performance was pretty good. Cade
Yeah.
was amazing.
Badoni was probably my favorite of like
Okay.
To
everybody.
watch.
Yeah, overall
sure.
performance. He was I was listening to an interview with John Donaher, and he said that he was like 0-4 or 0-5 against Hulk, and like this is like the finals of the biggest tournament there's been like ever, and then he finally goes and beats Hulk and,
Yeah.
and chokes him, submits him, and that's just, I mean,
That's the icing on the cake, man.
yeah,
That's
I
what
think
we
that'll
live
give you
for.
chills.
That definitely speaks to Donaher's camp. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
When you're like, when you've lost to an athlete like multiple times, and then you get with the right group of guys, and that camp just takes you to the level that you need to be to, get revenge.
I mean, submitting Hulk's a big statement too, because like he's one of the few guys that in 2019 Gordon couldn't submit. So
Hasim Rita.
Dude,
Yeah, like that was so he caused the big upset and submitted Cyborg with an armbar.
yeah.
That was probably one of, if not my favorite, crowd reactions to a moment. Like,
for sure.
I mean, first of all, we have Cyborg, definitely a controversial name in the jiu-jitsu community these days. And Hasim Rita, but he is good, and so Hasim Rita was, I think, going in there as the underdog. So
For sure.
when he submitted Cyborg as fast as he did, and two, submitting Cyborg specifically, the stars aligned, and it was just
And it was right there at
moment.
the beginning of the tournament too.
Yeah.
Like
This
we were
is the
just
giraffe
getting-
fellow, right?
Yeah, dude, the
Armbar.
giraffe. I love Hasim.
That tornado armbar was freaking awesome.
Yeah. What was it? Go ahead.
Sorry, I derailed your train of thought right there.
I gotta remember what I was thinking.
Okay.
I mean, Theon was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got emotional a couple of times. Like, started tearing up during this tournament. Theon was one of those moments. Like, so she placed second the last ADCC, and this time, like, she had the 3 years, around 3 years, I think, to prepare for the tournament. And Theon, like, I just was rooting for her. Like, she's really good, and I could just feel that she wanted to win so bad. Not to say that everybody else didn't, but when she won, she
dominated too.
She dominated, and she had a very emotional win. When she was doing her speech, she was crying, and I was just like, man, I'm feeling this.
Yeah. There was one of those clips, like, you ever see clips of like the reels, and it'll have somebody's you can't hear them, but they'll have the subtitles where you can tell what they're mouthing. Like, right after she won, as soon as she got up, she was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
And it was like, man,
that's awesome.
Because she had to prove something to herself.
Sure.
Because that's just got to be an emotional roller coaster of just the journey to get there, and then it happening on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah. There were a few emotional moments at ADCC, I think.
Yeah.
I think Kendall Rusing getting hurt was another one for me. Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, so Kendall, she got injured during her match, right? Completely, I believe, tore her LCL, her MCL, and then another one.
Meniscus.
Yeah, her meniscus.
Oh my gosh.
And so they carry her off the mats, okay? And so where Jackson and I are sitting, we're sitting to the right of the stage from the audience's perspective. And the seats that we were in, they were kind of elevated above the floor. So if you lean over the rails, underneath us is the station, the medic station. So when they took her off the mats, they brought her to that station. And so we were literally I was watching her the very moment after. One, she just blew her knee out, so she's in an immense pain. And she just lost the biggest tournament, the biggest moment of her life.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is hard to watch. You know what I mean? I had to turn and look away. It was hard to look at.
She just came back off of a really bad back injury too.
Yeah.
She said she had 15 minutes of mat time of being back before she just went right back into probably a year-long rehab. She's gonna be out for a while. So
yeah, it's when people come through the gym and they tell me that they're the type that's oh, I'm gonna beat Conor McGregor, I want to be a UFC fighter, I want to be a pro grappler. Those are the moments that I think about when they tell me those sort of things, because I'm like, dude, do you know what you're getting into. You know what I mean? Like,
But on injury, there was a confirmation. Craig posted today that Nicky does have another ACL tear.
Oh my gosh,
So
Nicky,
he's-
what the heck?
Yeah, it's like Dominic Cruz. Like he's just can't stay healthy. So he's gonna have surgery on that, and that'll be him out for a while too. And this was his first time back.
Yeah.
And
why do you think that is? Do you think that it's just that he keeps re-injuring it and it's just not healing all the way, or
this
do
is
you
on
think?
the other leg.
Oh, it's on the other leg, man.
They had a video of the practice like 2 weeks before the tournament, and Kenta was like getting him in some type of a throw, and he like posted with his leg, and it just kind of
So it happened before?
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons he didn't really look that good against Hanato, because he looked really tired. I know he had a big weight cut too, because he's beefed up now, but yeah, that stinks.
It was
man.
the ACL, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it said ACL.
Well, ACL usually happens whenever there's someone who wants to turn a corner very quickly, and they end up doing it so quickly that they snap it.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was like in a wrestling scramble. They got the video on there.
yeah, you
for
really
later.
you really want. It's like one person wants to do multiple things all at once, and then suddenly they overstretch the system. It's not a good thing, and it's terrible. And I feel really, really bad for him because
Yeah.
he's already very quiet, and I want to see more of him grappling.
Yeah.
I want his grappling to speak for him. It's just very sad.
Yeah.
But anyway.
B Team's new slogan they posted today is, "We're not here to take over. We're here to take part."
Oh.
What?
They all looked
It's
like...
funny, but it's sad at the same time.
Yeah, they didn't get the best results like as a team, because they did have one of the bigger teams there. They got 2 silver medals, which both Nicky and Craig I thought did amazing. Kenta looked great against JT Torres. Like he gave him a run for his money in the first round. J-Rod looked really, really good against Pedro Moreno. He was seconds away from winning that if he would have been able to get full mount instead of just three-quarters mount. I think Isaac and Wagner was probably my favorite match of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that match was amazing.
They had the
Super
crowd
fun
up
to
on their
watch.
feet. It was
I think
wild.
Isaac arguably should have won that match. Actually,
Did he
Man,
not?
I
Oh yeah,
rewatched
whenever
it.
they did, they gave it to Wagner, and everybody was booed, right?
Yeah, but I feel like they were booing more because they don't like Wagner than because I
Well-
think honestly that was razor thin. I think that could have gone either way.
Okay,
But
I accept that, but I still don't like Wagner, so I'm just.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna continue.
I'm
to
on the
be
same
their
page.
side,
Yeah, I was rooting for Isaac, but
but
can you do?
if the match was that tightly contested, regardless of whether he won or not, I mean Isaac definitely proved that he belongs
Right.
at that level and that
Yeah.
he can not just hang with those guys, but he is one of the guys.
Well, what was even better in that match was that he basically pulled blood from a stone, because Wagner is a stone. He's just he's not fun to grapple with in a
Right.
competitive setting. He's just
I
not.
see what you mean.
It's not fun to watch.
he created scrambles. He was getting to good positions. It wasn't just like a
It was an exciting match to
Yeah.
watch. Definitely, people want to see more of him. But who else can get Wagner to have an exciting match?
yeah. He wasn't like Yuri Samoas or Elder Cruz in that match, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how Wagner is a lot of times. He was forced to go out there and play the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was really cool.
His game has evolved a lot over the past couple of years.
Talking about Isaac? Or
Yeah,
Wagner? Okay, I
man.
didn't know
He
about
used to be a
Wagner.
really heavy leg lock guy, but now we're seeing a lot of scrambles to the back, lots of really nice passing from the feet. He's good from the mount, good from the top position, good wrestling.
It looks good everywhere, man. Yeah. I was impressed that Nicky Rod was able to pass Felipe's guard.
Yeah,
Body lock.
yeah.
I wasn't.
That said a lot.
I wasn't surprised at all. I was just finally, someone's actually being serious with this idiot. Okay, I take idiot back. But whenever I saw him, we changed to his match, I was just man, why isn't he at home crying? I thought he was at home crying. Yeah.
You talking about Felipe?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Felipe definitely didn't look like his head was in the game. You
Get
know
beat
what I
by
mean?
Ty.
Yeah.
And, like, that's not to discredit Ty. Ty's amazing, but he just didn't look like he had that fire in him at all. So, and ADCC is the place where everybody's got that fire in them.
For sure.
You can feel just the intensity that everybody's got. And he just kind of, I don't know, his demeanor was just kind of flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just brought up Ty. Talk about, man, like he had a very disappointing first round and then had an electric run through the absolute bracket.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Who beat him first round? I can't remember.
It was his teammate. It was Josh Hinger.
Hinger like big brothered him.
Mm-hmm.
Like pinned him. Yeah. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because I was really rooting for Ty, and that was like, I almost felt like I was getting slapped by reality. Like, no, these kids are just 19. They're not supposed to be this good yet. But then they proved reality wrong.
Sure.
And then Cade went off to submit everybody he went against, and Ty got bronze in the absolute, which is incredible for anybody at his weight. Because he was probably the smallest guy in 88 too. But beat Pedro Moreno, Felipe Pena, like, come on.
And he had a really good match with Marigali.
Yeah, dude.
Really good match. That match is in like top 5 favorite matches of the entire ADCC.
Yeah, no doubt. Anything else going on in jiu-jitsu outside of ADCC on y'all's minds? Anything that happened at ADCC that wasn't on the mats on y'all's minds?
Anything that happened at ADCC?
Anybody talk some trash after their match?
I mean, AJ Agazarm pulled one of his little stunts and just
Oh,
sat
yeah.
there in protest and stuck his bottom lip out. Which, going back and watching the clip he posted, I do think he was right. Just not really the way you go about it.
I was completely, like, my mind was somewhere else when that match was going on.
Well, it was also on the far mat. It was
Yeah.
hard to see. I didn't agree with him until I rewatched it.
I chimed in when he started making a scene. Like he was standing on the mats and he was just signaling like, no, I'm not leaving the mats until you give me this win.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, here we go. AJ is back doing his AJ stuff. Like, why do we invite him to these events? He's such a buzzkill.
Yeah.
So you think he won?
I do think he won. I think he should have scored the 2. I disagree with them not giving the 2, but I also disagree with his actions, like, about it, like how he acted about it.
Oh yeah.
We saw a little bit of that. Me and Sawyer saw a little bit of that Saturday when we went to that Webster's tournament. There was a coach there who was upset about a reset. And, like, he showed us, like, the video.
It was a parent.
Because he was trying to – no, he was a coach.
Oh, he was a coach? I thought
Yeah.
he was a parent of.
No, he was a coach. He was trying to appeal, and, like, it was like – these are, like, 9-year-olds. Neither one of them were our kids. But it was, like, two 9-year-olds, and he reset them, and he had, like, the arm – I mean, you saw it.
Yeah.
Like, it really wasn't a bad reset at all.
What
No.
was the position they were in?
So they were one person was pass guards. He was in mount, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one kid was in mount on the other kid, and he stopped the match for what reason I can't remember.
He thought there was a tap from the guy on top.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
there's not a tap. All right, ready, go.
Yeah.
And then they went. And then after the match was over, his kid had lost by 2, so he shows it, and he's like, this isn't like a perfect reset. His
Okay.
arm was here instead of here.
Now he didn't say ready go. I don't think he didn't say ready go. The kid just started by himself.
I mean, he didn't really like improve position from that though.
No, he
like,
didn't.
I didn't think it would change the outcome, and that's what
No.
really matters. But he made him like rerun the whole bracket,
Yeah,
not just the
basically.
match. They reran the entire bracket because of that match.
Was there a different winner at the
I
end
don't
of
know.
the bracket?
I got into.
We stopped paying attention.
I got into
That's
like
fair.
I went to. They had 4 mats going on, and I went to a different one for something else.
Yeah.
But
I told the ref, I was just like, did you say 3, 2, 1, go? Or did you give a verbal explanation or like a verbal cue for when they were to start? He said no. It just looked like the kid just started by himself.
I do think that was
change.
a mistake, but I don't think the mistake mattered.
So
I don't think it, like,
one kid was ready for it to start and one kid wasn't ready for it to start. I agree. Like if you're in the mount and you have that that arm pinned, like it's not really gonna change. The other kid's gonna immediately know that it's starting. So yeah, I would agree there.
This is one of the reasons why I do not want to ref kids matches, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
they're just it's
You gotta look pretty scary to make the parents,
yeah. Like there's just always drama in
It's
the
never
kids
the kids.
divisions.
It's never the kids. It's always the parents.
It is.
or this coach. This coach also, just to give you a little bit of, I'm not gonna name names, but you don't know him, so I'll say that. But they had like a coaches meeting and they just wanted to like go over rules, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be cornering some kids, so I need to hear whatever they have to say, so I'll go listen. And they were just like, no jumping guard, no scissor takedowns, going over the points and everything. And I'm standing right beside like this same coach, and he's like, and they talked about like the karate, the forms, they talked about the sparring, they finally get to grappling. And he like dead serious, like not joking at all, goes like in front of all the people putting on the tournament, all the other coaches, he goes, what about pressure points? And I kind of look over.
Yikes.
And then I kind of look, all of the other coaches kind of look at each other, and then somebody is like, well, I'm under the impression that pressure points don't really work. And he like starts defending it, and he's like, well, maybe not in your style, but in my style, we do pressure points. And he's like, well, I guess you could say that, a joint lock is pressure applied to a point. But he's like, could you give us an example? And the dude like dead serious face. He's not laughing. He's not joking anything. He does one of these.
Oh,
just sticks his thumb on his temple and kind of turns it.
My God.
And like, man, they were just like, yeah, man, go for it. Go, do whatever you want. And later on, I was kind of just walking by, and I saw two of his students competing against each other because they were in the same division. And one of them had the other one in close guard. And he was like sticking his thumbs like in his cheeks.
Oh my God.
Fingers, like they weren't in any, like he wasn't sticking any fingers like in the mouth. He wasn't like eye gouging or anything, but he just had like fingers on the other kid's face. And he was just yelling, arm bar, but like they were way out of position. Like no, there was no arm bar there. He just kept yelling like a move. So,
wow. Okay.
Hey man, maybe he knows something we don't.
Maybe he does. That's why they were like, yeah, sure, you got pressure points. Let's see him. We didn't see him. I mean, hey.
I mean, they exist, but
only in his
really.
gym.
Yeah, only in his gym. Yeah.
He was like showing him how to warm up, and like I swear he was like showing this one girl how to do like a Boston crab, and I was just sitting there like, cool.
Yeah, some parents don't know what they're paying for.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, like their school wasn't a grappling school. They just claimed to also have grappling, and they were also going to compete in that. So their striking might have been super duper legit. I don't know. I know nothing about striking. I can't tell you good striking from bad striking when I see it, other than like the results.
Well,
of it.
I will say from all the people that I know who are excellent strikers, none of them are tapping into the pressure points skill set.
We asked for another example, and he said knee to the rib cage, and we were like, are you talking about like striking, like throwing a knee to the rib cage?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, just driving the knee into the rib cage. And we're just like, yeah, knee on belly. Like that's a position. That's cool.
That's perfectly fine.
And I'm thinking like, is his students tapping a knee on belly? Like, is that my path to victory if I fight one of his guys? But
yeah.
None of his guys were in my division, so.
Rarely do you see a kid use knee on belly.
I feel like maybe it's more for the gi. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Because you can kind of like.
I get that. Know. You could lock in the position much better with the gi for sure. But yeah. So would you guys like to go into the UFC stuff?
Sure.
Or do you want? Wait, actually. So, do you want to go into your Websters?
Oh yeah, I also competed at the tournament. I went 3-0. Points, and an armbar.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool to video.
in the gi, and I don't train in the gi very much. I do a little, but not very much. So
Yeah, very small amount. Like, I thought thought you were crazy a little bit to do this one, but not really. I mean, you trained a little bit and you've competed in it
yeah,
a whole bunch of times. So I thought you'd do really, really good.
appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it was really, really fun to watch you work and go and just pretty much beat everybody there. Like me and you were probably the best grapplers there, which was funny.
Well, I mean, there was plenty of people there that I know grapple that weren't grappling, whether
Okay,
they
yeah.
be running the event or whether they be coaching or because like I mean that one guy, Sam Lamar, I was like, oh,
The no-gi neighbors are experiencing technical difficulties.
like he's pretty good. I wonder if he's gonna be because he's in my weight class and he
Okay.
does gi more than no gi, and I was like, he'll be a problem if I have to go against him. I was kind of excited for that one, but he said he's gonna wait because he's gonna be at AGF next weekend.
Okay.
So
Did you sign up for gi for AGF next week?
no, I'm just doing no gi. I'm doing
gotcha.
absolute also, and I don't want to gas out.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do those two.
Yeah, but either way, he won both his division and the his absolute, so that was really exciting.
Yeah.
Sick.
Fun.
So when you competed, did you you mostly train no gi, but you train some gi here and there.
Yeah.
When you're in the gi, do you have like a more gi centric game, or do you typically like revert back to your like more no gi style?
I feel more uncomfortable standing, especially because one of the guys there, he wasn't wearing a jiu-jitsu belt. He was wearing a judo belt because it wasn't one of our colors. So I was like, yeah, this guy's going to throw me. So I'm definitely more inclined to pull guard. And when I do pull guard, I almost feel a little bit better about it because I struggle with like defending outside passing a lot no gi. And in gi, I can hold on to him a lot better and to get him to some type of a clinching guard. But I still struggle. Like, there's for the little bit of help that gives me, there's still so much stuff that like I'm not used to defending with like collar stuff and them being able to like grab the sleeves of my pants to pass and stuff like that. So there's still a lot to learn there. But my game's mostly the same.
Yeah, I saw you look for the truck as well.
I did take a look at the truck, but didn't pan out.
Yeah, God didn't want it to happen. So.
But I didn't get in a bad position because of it. I stayed on top.
Yeah, you
so.
did stay on top. Yeah, just kept crushing, which is really cool. But anyway, so after that, we're going into the UFC Fight Night. I figured we'd go over that. That was really exciting. The Sandhagen versus Sandhagen. It was really cool. Sandhagen definitely won that fight. It was just a very obvious victory. I feel like it's basically what happens when I go against anybody in the gym who's done a lot more striking than I have. It was a stand-up.
Okay.
It was
I thought you were like, I put a clinic on everybody.
No, absolutely not. Song Yudong just looked way too tense, and then Sandhagen was bobbing and weaving and getting in, getting out, staying off the midline. He was doing everything just correctly. It was really pretty. Sandhagen's is super technical, and he's super big to be in. I can't remember what it was. The 135, I believe he's in 135. Yeah,
I think so. I think he's a
for sure.
bantamweight.
That's what Henry Cejudo is, and he's in the same weight class. That would be a fun fight to watch. But yeah, that was super fun just to see a young lion take a crack at it. And Sandhagen's fights were really, really, really great. So especially the fight he had with T.J. Dillashaw, that was a banger. Definitely go check that out if you haven't. And then we had I wanted to see Giga Chikadze. I just wanted to see his fight. I've seen his past fights. He's just so fast. His legs are loose and they're quick and they're.
He's the dude who throws all the kicks to the body.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Just like,
he'll be like, "Oh, you looking for the body? I'm gonna hit you in the head." That's
okay.
basically his whole game there. He's less of a boxer, but he got beaten his last fight. But it was a slobber knocker. It was very, very bloody, and he was going against a great great boxer. So, but anyway, that got canceled. That was unfortunate. But then we have Gregory Rodriguez, and he got that massive cut. in
is
the
that the dude who,
co-main.
like-
Yes.
I saw that picture. It's gross.
It was as
It's
wide
gross.
it was as deep as it was wide. It
Yeah.
was so bad, man.
The picture we were looking at, though, he's like smiling in the photo.
Yeah, because he won.
He's a madman.
That's
why.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But like, damn.
Yeah, how could you have won with that? I just need. He must have done some really, really great stuff. I didn't watch the fight, but geez Louise, that cut was awful. And it was Julien Marquez that he can thank for that cut. Really?
Oh, Julien Marquez.
Oh, Julien Marquez.
That's the guy that was trying to get with Miley Cyrus at one point, right?
I don't.
I
What?
don't
He
keep
like,
up with
I
Miley.
swear, I
I do
believe
remember
Julien
that.
Marquez, like after he won one of his fights, he asked Miley Cyrus to be his Valentine,
I think. Well,
and I'm pretty sure she responded to him and said yes.
I'm not sure.
Hey,
I'm
man,
not sure if
whatever
that's the
works.
same guy, but that sounds that did happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I do the exact same thing. I love Miley Cyrus. She is awesome.
Do you?
Yeah,
I didn't
absolutely.
know you're a big Hannah Montana fan.
Yeah, I love how she's got
Wait a
that
second.
voice.
Whoa, wait. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Who's not a Hannah Montana fan?
No. Wait. Are you trying to say that Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus are the same person?
Nobody's perfect.
What?
Joe, they've been lying to me. And then we have your previous tournament that we just talked about, and
Yeah.
upcoming tournaments that we're going to be in. So we've
Yeah,
got that
upcoming.
AGF this coming weekend. That's going to be really exciting.
We all doing that? We all
yeah,
doing that?
yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got quite a few people going into that. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Although my division, it's got 4 people,
Oh,
and 2 of them, I'm one of them,
yeah.
and then 2 of them are like 2 of like my closest friends. It's Will and Philip.
They may not be your closest friends after this tournament.
Yeah.
Dude, I was talking to Will, and I was like, because at one point it was just me and him in that bracket, and I was like, you want to try to like move up so at least we'll like meet in the finals of like the higher weight class? He's like, nah, let's run it. Hey, Will, want that smoke? I'm with it. I got you.
Yeah, dude. I believe in you on that one. I love you, Will. I love you. You know I love you, and I'll keep
But you
loving
don't train here no more.
But you don't train here. Yeah, come over here, man. Get the smoke over here. Don't get the smoke
You
at
got an
AGF.
ironclad guy too.
I do have an ironclad guy. There's only
Man.
one guy in my weight class, which is a little
Yeah.
weird. But and I have him in the absolute. I think maybe first match or something
There you
like
go.
that.
Okay.
I actually rolled with him on Sunday, so that's fun.
Yeah.
It went. You know what? We'll just leave that to the imagination. We'll maybe show you guys.
Talking all that smoke.
It went pretty good. But he's a great guy. We're gonna have a fun match, and it's gonna be a fun day, fun time. It's gonna be a fun day, full of competition. Like we have basically our entire gym going, so it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of kids, a lot
Yeah,
of adults.
got some kids.
White belts. I think Cupcake Tate, he's going to be going and competing. I
Oh,
think.
that might be his
I'm
first.
I'm excited
Yeah, I
to
think
watch
it's his
that
first
one.
Yeah.
Cupcake like reminds me of Big Dan in some ways. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like
Kinda
he's like he's young but very tall, very similar
Very
build.
large. Yeah.
His
But
demeanor's kind of similar. Like
yeah.
he I don't know, like he's pretty serious, but also like kind of soft spoken.
hmm
Gentle giant. So you
Yeah.
roll with him.
So Cupcake, if you're watching this, I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
He's still in high school. Cupcake
Is
is
he gonna get
still in high
bigger?
school. He might get bigger.
Man.
That's exciting.
I know Johnny Legs is going to compete for the first time.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
let's go.
I want a camera.
Wait, does that mean
squarely
does
fixed
that
on him.
mean Nick, aka Fastball?
I don't know if
I'm
if
not sure.
Fastball
I'm not
signed up
sure.
yet or not. I know Micah Johnny Legs is, but I don't know about Nick.
For those of y'all that don't know about Johnny Legs, I don't think I've met like a more dexterous person in my life. Like he can contort and like his legs in the weirdest ways. Like you'll be in a position of like control, and then all of a sudden he'll just like flip his leg in like a weird way
He's
and,
an alien,
and completely trap you. And it's just
For
so
sure.
annoying to deal with.
It
And
is
I hate
very
it.
annoying. Yeah, I hate it too. He will roll with me. And yeah.
I've seen him put legs in places that no one else puts legs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm just like, are you sure your leg's okay? And he's just like, yeah. And then he's about it.
Yeah, it never seems like a struggle though. Like if I watch him roll, he just puts it there like it belongs there, kind of with confidence. Like it's never like a. It doesn't look like you see a lot of people play like rubber guard and they're sitting there about to blow their knee out trying to get in the spot. That's not him. He's just there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I'll do like an outside guard pass on him, and like most people when you outside guard pass and they do like that high leg pummel with their far side leg, like they got to do like a bigger movement. Fucking Johnny Legs just like flips his leg right over his hip and he's already recovered his guard, and I'm like, dude, what is going on with your body?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how other white belts react when they roll with him.
Yeah,
because they're gonna be like, "What's up with this guy? His lower body's made of flubber, and he just kind of can't pass his guard. Like I have to use like all my weight to like pass his guard a lot of times because he's so good at getting like that inside space because he can just get it anywhere.
Yeah. Fastball has been getting really, really good too. I wish that he would.
He's tough.
Yeah,
he's tough.
Yeah. He's getting tough as nails. He's like a little, I don't know.
Fastball.
Yeah, he's like a little. Well, he's like Wolverine in a way because he is going and he's going fast and he's going hard.
Yeah. It's cool, like, when somebody comes through and, like, you tap them, like, 5-6 times in a round on their first day, but they stay consistent, they keep showing up, and then they turn into one of those people, like, no, I got to actually, like, earn this.
They become a problem.
Yeah, like, I got to actually earn this tap now.
Yeah.
You're making me run.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Legs, you're making me run.
It's cool that, like, I've been here long enough now that, like, I've seen, like, the white belts that started a good bit after me progress and get, like, close to their blue belts.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like Ty. Like, I met Ty because I was just in the warehouse on a lunch break watching a Gordon Ryan video, and he's a truck driver that delivers to our warehouse, and he looks over at my phone, and he's like, "What's that you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, jiu-jitsu." And he's like, "Oh, like Jocko's podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he starts training, and I think he's been here, like, over a year now.
Yeah, Ty's an awesome guy.
Getting pretty good, too.
Yeah.
The coolest. Like, you can just see how he's, I don't know, he's just grown. You can just see, it's an outward confidence that he has that he didn't have walking in, and it's really fun to see.
I know what you mean, yeah.
No, that's definitely, like, that's one of the coolest things about jiu-jitsu is that it gives the people that need confidence, and it gives the people that have too much confidence, it, like, brings them down a couple of levels, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're like Travis, and you're just amazing at everything you do, and you just, you know.
but Travis still doesn't walk around like...
Yeah.
But and then you've also got, like, I guess the few examples of the ones who, like, I don't know.
Well, I just
Orlando.
Orlando. Sanchez. Are you talking about Orlando Sanchez?
I've got my 4 moves.
Dude looks like an egg that just sprouted legs.
He's like Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. Oh, he is Humpty Dumpty, man. Every time I see, I don't know, I keep seeing like videos with him bandaged on his head. I'm like, oh, he fell down.
Did y'all hear that Tex Johnson is suing Orlando Sanchez?
Yeah, dude, we talked about that a few episodes ago. He's suing
and
him,
the ref.
He's suing the ref, and he's suing Flo. And
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, so I looked into it just a little bit deeper since the last time we talked about it. From what I've heard, Tex apparently like can't compete ever again.
Oh,
like
Is it that bad, or is it that bad to get that check?
That's what he's saying. He's saying that the injury that he sustained from the slam was like the consequences were so great that he like his competitive career is over. Like he's not going to step out again.
Whoa.
Which I mean, like
until maybe he gets paid or all this gets dropped, and then he's like, I've made a miraculous recovery.
Sure.
I'm not saying he for sure is faking.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, when there's money, when there's money to be made.
Yeah, but also maybe he is hurt and he's
totally
pissed
possible.
off. Like I know that Tex, another name, one of those like controversial figures, but like I don't know. I just think that maybe like I just think there's maybe he is injured and can't get out there.
Totally possible.
But that's me like trying to see the best in people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe I might sue. I wouldn't sue the ref because he didn't do anything, but I would definitely sue Orlando Sanchez because he's a pig, man. He's just
How do
gobbling
you relate that to other sports though?
What do you mean?
So, I mean, suing somebody for something that takes place in a full contact sport is, I don't know, it's kind of like a gray area thing because like he didn't assault him, he just did an illegal technique.
Sure.
It's like if this was football, like how far does it have to go in football? Like how bad does it have to be for me to get sued? Like if I take my helmet off and then hit somebody in the face with my helmet, like when they don't have a helmet on, like I'm sure there's probably going to be some like legal action taken. At least
Sure.
I would think so. I don't think it would just be like a suspension, fine, whatever. I figure it would be something serious. But where's the line between that and when you just hit somebody real hard and they're just like, oh, that's
I hear you.
unnecessary roughness?
I think like, so Sanchez, he's like has a reputation for being dirty in his matches. On top of that, he did something that everybody knows is illegal.
To be fair, and I'm not like condoning his actions at all, but a good point I heard somebody make was the only time this guy's competed in the last few years has been in ADCC, and in ADCC that would have been legal because it wasn't in he was in a triangle.
Yeah, but I'm also of the opinion that when you enter to a pro grappling tournament, like it's your responsibility as an athlete to know what the rules are.
100%, especially at that level, you've got to have a certain level of like professionalism.
Yeah. So even if he was like unaware of, the rules, like it was his responsibility to know the rules.
But in a court of law, I wonder if like whether or not he has malicious intent would be like a deciding factor on like severity of punishment.
Yeah. I don't think that – so if Tex is injured like he says he is –
Shoot.
What's that?
The camera turned off.
Oh, okay.
We didn't set a thingy.
I thought it was recording through the software, so we wouldn't need
Yeah,
to.
it was. I think it might have died.
Oh, the camera might have died?
Yeah, I think the camera might have
plugged
died.
in though, right?
It is. It's not plugged. It's not charging. That's the HDMI.
Oh, okay.
So we can just continue without sound. We used to do it without sound.
Wait. Well, we need to continue with sound, right?
I
So
mean,
they
without
can hear us.
without picture.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
Maybe sign language.
Sorry. But okay, so yeah, we're continuing without pictures. Sorry, guys.
No, you get. What were we talking about?
Orlando. Court.
Yeah. And so if Tex is injured like he says he is, I don't think Sanchez, slammed him with the intent that I'm gonna ruin this guy's career. But I can see why like Tex would want some compensation for a career ruining injury that from a technique that was deemed illegal.
Yeah.
So I can see your perspective, but I can also see Tex's perspective.
Now the only question is like, will She-Hulk take his case? In the Superhuman Law Division. But
He is superhuman, so maybe.
he looks like the Thing. Like I expected him to be like, it's clobbering time.
Yeah.
Before he went out there and
Clobbered.
just disappointed everybody.
He did disappoint everybody.
I don't think people had very high hopes of Orlando in this one.
I think Orlando's Instagram is more disappointing. Just his dancing.
Like where he does like the handstand, like twerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The handstand.
Wow, I'm really happy that I don't follow Orlando Sanchez right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
It's called head injuries and just being a bad person. I think.
Yeah.
Just all connected.
Yeah. So I think this. What do you think? Last time we see Sanchez at ADCC.
Unless he wants to go win a trials, I would see no reason that anybody would want to invite him back.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Man, the old man, him, Shanji Ribeiro, that was his last one. Lovato. Dude, Lovato made it today too. He did better than I thought he would.
Earlier today, Craig did say he was going to do another one.
Oh, okay.
He said he wants to do another one, and he wants to try to win the absolute and get the super fight in 2024. So like he doesn't plan on hanging it up. I know a few people were kind of like, I wonder if this is Craig's last one, because like I kind of thought it was a good possibility that he would hang it up and just kind of take take the coach's seat from now on for B Team, because like they don't really have like an established like this is the coach. It's just like, I don't know, it's a team without a captain almost.
Yeah, and I feel like at that level you have to have a coach if you want to beat the guys that do have a coach.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
You need a John Donaher, a Guy Mendez, or a Melky Galvao if you want to go far. I feel like I think at least that's the new meta.
Yeah. I can't, dude. When we were on the topic of ADCC earlier, and we didn't even talk about the biggest thing that happened, Gordon.
Oh, you didn't talk about Gordon.
What do you mean we can't? We don't have to talk about Gordon.
Everybody already knows.
I know, but it's like he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he
that's
sure
insane. That is insane because I mean he made world-class black belts look like they didn't know jiu-jitsu. Not like that they didn't know jiu-jitsu, but he just looked so much farther ahead than everybody he grappled with.
He went ahead and like established that there's nobody that can compete with him right now. Like he's cleaned out his division as if he's like a John Jones or an Anderson Silva. Like he is the reigning champ now.
Yeah, which makes me like kind of like curious about like where his career is going to go from here, because to me like it kind of makes all the people he competes against, like it makes those matches kind of boring now, just because he's so dominant in his matches that it also like makes them a little boring.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's excited to see Yuri.
Dude, I was
nobody wants to see Yuri and Gordon.
So disappointed that Yuri won.
Yeah.
Especially when like I mean, did he even
Didn't score a point.
Did he score like okay?
Didn't pass a guard.
That
Didn't get a
that
takedown.
there has to be some kind of flaw like in
That's
the
not the
ADCC
first time it's happened either.
rules.
That's happened twice before.
Like how can you win an ADCC match without like scoring a point or tapping somebody?
I can understand winning a match because like Wagner won that match against Isaac. And I mean that was a super exciting, super entertaining, lots of jiu-jitsu. It's just it's hard to score in that rule set, and both of those guys just played the game well. And I'm fine with that match taking place and either of those guys being the winner really with a match that close. But winning an entire bracket without scoring a point, and not getting like a single like if you're a Yuri fan, I want you to go back and make a highlight reel of all the things Yuri did at this ADCC. You can't. Unless it's of him warming up in the back. Like, I mean.
And so our next super fight is supposed to be Yuri versus Gordon. I don't want to see that. Like, it makes me not excited for the next super fight. You know what I mean? Just because one, like, we've got the most dominant grappler in jiu-jitsu ever, and we've got the probably like most boring guy in that bracket, and he's beaten him 3 times. So like I'm not excited for that.
I know the last time we talked, one of the big conversations about Gordon was, is there anybody that can even challenge him right now? And I have changed my opinion a little bit. I think there might be somebody. I was extremely impressed with Kynan. Kynan did phenomenal. He dominated everybody he went against. I'm pretty sure Craig said the reason he didn't go into the absolutes because he had a bad knee injury, and like
Craig did or Kynan?
Craig said he didn't go in because he was absolutely exhausted. He said he used all of his energy up on Marigali, and then when he went against Kynan, I mean, insult to injury. Like he was just getting dominated by somebody. He said he learned his lesson on he doesn't belong in that division, at least at his current state. Craig was like, I don't belong here. I'm too small. But he said he was too exhausted to go into the absolute and didn't feel like he'd have a good performance because of that. And he said that Kynan probably didn't go into it because of that knee injury. Because he was injured going into the Craig match and he won anyway. And Craig knew he was injured and he was looking for that leg because he had it wrapped up, but he wasn't able to get to it.
I mean, if Kynan has closed that, that leg locking hole in his game, then, maybe. I don't know, man. Like, the dude just went out there and leg locked everybody in like, what, like under 3 minutes?
I'm not saying he's ready. But like,
you think he can get to a point?
It feels like and he's really young too. Like, I'm pretty sure he's younger than I feel like a lot of people think he is. But I feel like he's like the next person in line that would make an interesting match. I think there is a route to victory for him. Whether or not he hits it, who knows? Because he's one of those guys that has off days, and when he has an off day, it's very obvious. Even on an on day, though, I think it's a thin chance he could beat Gordon. So, but I think he's got a better shot than a lot of guys right now.
Sure. I mean, he did pass Craig's guard multiple times.
Mounted Craig, just
yeah. And I mean, Craig's he's one of the best in the world. Like, he's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Craig was one of the few guys that I was like, maybe he'd make a good match for Gordon, just because maybe he'd know his game well enough to get like a good game plan for him. And then after seeing what Gordon did to Nicky Rod, I was like, nah. And since Craig didn't get gold, but like, in a different universe, if Craig would have won his division, maybe that would be a matchup we could be sitting here talking about, but not this time.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Do you have anything else, Jackson?
That's about it for me. We do have the PGF coming up soon.
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
We also have that competition coming up. Did you get?
I won't.
Oh wait, you won't. Okay,
I'll be here watching the PGF, and
so it was just me and Evan Stapler, right? And that said yes to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and you
the PGF finale on
the
October
like
29th.
one-off matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told
And
Brandon
Josh.
I'd do one.
Brett-
Me, Evan, Josh. I think Christian Eccles might jump in too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some interesting matches that'll be made.
Do you know if they're doing the PGF here at the gym again, or if they're gonna do it
think it's at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it when they do it at the gym, man. Like, it has a more like raw feeling to it,
I won't be able to make it to the finals though. That's why I'm not doing the thing, is because that day will be Luke and Sarah that train here are going to be getting married. I'm going to be Luke's best man, so I'll be there at the wedding.
Shout out to Luke and Sarah.
Little love on the
tying the knot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super proud of my boy.
Luke's been looking good.
Yeah.
For sure. His wrestling's always been pretty great, but his passing's been looking much better.
Yeah, Luke's a stud.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does this coming weekend.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do great.
I predict double gold for him.
Oh, double gold for him? All right.
Well, the way they split the absolute, he's going to be the biggest guy in his division, and he's also going to be the biggest guy in the absolute.
Okay.
Because they do a 175 and under absolute, and then a 175 and over absolute. So it's pretty much his division twice. Just one of them's got some small guys in it. But
Gotcha. So.
And if you're listening and you plan on being in the PGF, if you've won a qualifier or gotten an invite, we're looking to have PGF competitors or players on the podcast, possibly. So
yeah, coming up soon.
Reach out, let us know. We'll have you on.
Very close. Yeah, we'll have you on. We'll interview you, get a little bit of your story and stuff like that. It'll be really exciting, especially for before the PGF. It'll be.
Come on, talk some smack, cut some promos.
For sure.
Let everybody know what the score is.
We are no strangers to talking smack, so get over here and get down.
We're not strangers, we're neighbors.
Oh yeah.
But that's all I've got for this week.
Me as well. I'm excited for this coming weekend, and we'll get back to you on our results.
Awesome.
All right. Appreciate y'all for listening. I'll see y'all next time.
Peace out.
That was a lot of fun.
Missed striking. That's okay.
Now I just hope that the